Hello there, my name is Kelly. Thank you so much for being here. If we've not met before, I am a 50-year-old mom and I live here in Charlotte, North Carolina with my husband of 22 years and I have two boys, 16 and 14. I usually am on Instagram. That's where I spend a lot of my time on social media. But I'm trying to get my YouTube channel up and running because I know it's a lot of fun over here and I can't be missing out. So here I am. What I love to do though is spread positivity through what I call happy dances. And I love to share my favorite makeup tips for women my age to help you glow again. So speaking of, this is my favorite makeup. It is from Seint Beauty and all of my makeup is in this palette right here. Everything I need for a full face of makeup except for mascara is right here. So today I'm going to do my makeup with my favorite palette, but I'm going to talk about brushes. So do you need all these brushes? No, you don't. You really only need a couple of brushes, but I'm going to kind of focus in on a couple of these and tell you how to use them and why they are so great for this makeup. So let's get started. All right. So again, this is my favorite makeup. It's from Seint Beauty. It is actually lightweight cream-based makeup, and it's what we call three-dimensional foundation. So your face is obviously three-dimensional, so your makeup should be too. So gone are the days of using one flat color all over with a little bit of blush. We're not going to do that anymore. Our face has multiple colors, multiple layers, and so what we're doing is applying multiple colors in specific key spots to accentuate our features, give us some definition and dimension, and also to give us that glow. So as you can tell, the older that you get, you lose luminescence in your skin. It just becomes duller and a little bit more drab. So we're gonna get that back with more colors. All right, so getting started here. Again, everything I need is in my palette right here. I always like to start with contour, which is this one over here. Contour is darker in color. It is also part of your foundation, part of your three-dimensional foundation. It does provide coverage. So that's why we're able to use multiple colors, because they each provide coverage for us. So starting with my contour, I am going to use the brush called the detail brush. I like this brush for contour because of the way it's shaped. You can see it has a flat head. It's almost perfectly shaped for contour. And this is a medium coverage brush. You could actually do your entire face with this brush right here. But just to give you an idea of what all these brushes are capable of, I'm just going to use this brush for contour. So taking my detail brush here, I'm going to dab into my contour with just the side of the brush here. And again, with this makeup, it's very highly pigmented, so a very little goes a very long way. So I'm dabbing into the makeup. I'm not swiping because that's going to get way too much product. And this brush is made for cream makeup, so if it's a clean brush, which this one I just cleaned the other day, if it's a clean brush, it's going to pick up the perfect amount of product for medium coverage. All right, so taking this brush, you can see the product right there. I'm going to start here at the back of my cheekbone. Because wherever you apply first is where the most product is going to go. So I'm going to start at the back and bring it down. I'm going to go right underneath my cheekbone, and then I'm just going to press and bring it down just like that. All right, so that is my contour. We're going to go back and blend everything else later. So I'm just going to go ahead and start applying just like that. All right. All right, let's do the same thing, but let's apply right here below our hairline. Now, I obviously have a really big forehead, so I'm going to bring mine down a little bit lower. If you don't have a big forehead like this, you can just do right along your hairline right here. You kind of want to leave like 2 fingers between your eyebrow and the start of your contour color. So I got my contour color right here on my brush, and I'm ready to apply, just pressing that in and making sure it's nice and blended. And again, I'm going to dab one more time, and I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because of my forehead. All right, so what contour is it is darker in color, obviously, so it absorbs light. So when we place it where we already have those natural shadows, it's accentuating our features. So, and again, it is providing coverage. Now I'm applying it right here along my jawline, and I'm gonna take it down my neck as well. And the reason I'm doing that is so I don't have like two different colors. Like you've seen that where your face is one color and your neck is different. This is just giving it some warmth. So let's do the other side here, right along my jawline, and then bringing it down. All right, so the next place you can apply contour, that's really the basics. As long as you have your contour in those 3 areas, you're golden. If you want to contour your nose, that's certainly an option. It's not something you have to do. My nose is kind of skinny already. It's a little bit crooked, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to use this same brush, and I'm going to go to the other end, the skinnier end, and I'm again dabbing into my contour here. And then when you are applying it to your nose, you want to stay close to the top toward the bridge, because the wider the lines are, the wider your nose is going to be. So you're just going to kind of sweep it gently down either side, just like that. You can even do the tip, and then to give yourself a little bit of a pout right there below the bottom lip. So this again is the detail brush. This is a medium coverage brush. It's perfect for contour. So moving on here, the next thing in my palette is my main highlight. We call them highlights, my main foundation. This is the color that most closely matches my skin tone. And these again are all colors that I can help you figure out. It's not something that you have to do on your own. I can color match you is what we call it, where I look at your skin tone and your skin type. I ask you some basic questions, and then I can build your palette for you based on your needs and your coloring. So this is something I can help you with. I'll put a link below so that if you're ready to get color matched, just click that link and I will build your palette for you, and we'll go through it and make sure that you know exactly what everything is. All right, so the next thing is my main highlight, my main foundation. This is the 3D brush. This brush is for medium coverage, which is what I basically need at this stage of my life. So medium coverage brush, you can see that it has dual ends, just like all of the brushes. They're all made for cream makeup. I like to use this end for my main highlight to apply it. And then I'm going to use this end for when I'm ready to do my brightener, my brightening highlight. So you saw I just did one dab there into my main foundation, and I'm just pressing it into the skin here, and then going back and lightly blending. You don't need to use a lot of muscle here. It's just a very light movement. It's gonna blend seamlessly, just like that. All right, same thing, dabbing into my brush. And now I'm gonna apply it here along my jawline. So I'm basically putting this color where I don't have contour. So everywhere that I don't have contour, I'm applying my main highlight. I'm going to do my brightening highlight in the middle of my face because that's where I want the glow to come from. So this color is basically going to go everywhere that I don't have contour and everywhere but the very center of my face. So that's kind of how I like to remember it. So if I start with my contour, I sort of have a roadmap as to where everything goes. So I'm just going to apply a little bit right here around my mouth and a little bit here right on my eye socket, or that bone, the orbital bone. All right, now I am ready for my brightening highlight. Okay, so I can take the other end of this 3D brush, this medium coverage brush, and I can apply my brightening highlight with it. You can see that it's got denser bristles. It's gonna really fit kind of like in the corner under my eye here pretty easily. So let's get started with that. So this next color is my brightening highlight. This is lighter in color. Obviously I'm running low on it. But anyway, it's lighter in color and it reflects light. So that's what's going to give you that glow that you're looking for, is with this color right here. And again, this is a color I will help color match you to. So I'm going to take this other end and I'm going to use a very small amount because I'm going to apply this under the eye and I want as little product here as possible. This is very thin skin here, especially as you get older, you lose fullness, it just gets thinner. So you want as little product here as possible. So that's why I'm gonna apply using this brush just to the inner corner and just to the outside. I don't want it all under my eye. It's just gonna be way too much product and it's gonna cake and crease and do all the things. So I just got a little bit here And then I'm going to apply it here in the inner corner, just like that. And I'm going to kind of bring it down just a little bit to give me some brightness, and then on the side of my nose as well. All right, so same thing, dab, and let's do the outside here. All right, just like that. Let's do the other side as well. Now you can see the brightness already. It's much brighter. The inner corner and outer corner. This whole eye is much brighter than this eye just by adding that little bit right there. Okay, so dabbing into it, inner corner, side of my nose, just like that. So, and same thing, outer corner. Now, when you're doing it on the outside, I want you to take it up and back just for like a little bit of a facelift here. Okay. There we go. So I've gotten my brightening highlight under my eye in the inner and outer corner. And now I'm ready to do brightening highlight everywhere else. I'm going to take it down my nose. Sorry, I have a mirror I'm looking at right here. In between my brows. Cupid's bow and chin. So see how much brighter that is just by doing those few areas just like that. Much brighter. Okay, so again, this is the 3D brush. This is my medium coverage brush. Now let's pause really quick right here and talk about if you like full coverage, that's a totally different brush. It's not necessarily more product. It's just a brush that has denser bristles. So this is the buff brush, and you can see with my 3D brush here, it's got a little bit of movement. It's not quite as dense as this brush. This is my buff brush. It is a lot denser. The bristles are closely packed together. So this brush, this buff brush, is going to pick up a little bit more product, and it's going to give you that full coverage look. Now, full coverage doesn't necessarily mean tons of makeup. It just means like more of an airbrushed look. So this is like what you would wear if you maybe were going to be on camera, or if you had family photos, you had a big event, date night, things like that. This full coverage brush is great for that. So again, the bristles are denser. They're packed closer together. This brush, this is your full coverage brush. This is your medium coverage brush because they are not as closely packed together and they're not as dense. And then if you wanted lightweight coverage, like you don't want to look like you're wearing makeup, you want as light of coverage as possible, you would use this brush right here. This is the blend brush. This is a lightweight, light coverage brush. And you can see these bristles are much fluffier than this one here. This is the medium coverage brush. All right, so the blend brush is light, 3D brush, medium, and buff brush, full. So that is the difference between the brushes right there. All right, so let's see, let's take a quick check. Okay, so I have my contour, my main foundation, my brightening highlight. These all three, again, provide coverage, and they all work together. They all blend together to create your foundation. So it's three-dimensional foundation. We're ready to move on to our cheek color. I'm going to use the color Hollywood today. I really love pinks, especially as we get older. I don't think we should go neutral. I don't think we should go subtle. I think we should go bold. So it just is brighter, cheerier. Our skin is already duller. We need to add some color back to it. So I'm going to use this brush here. This is the the blush and bronzer brush. So I'm obviously going to use it for blush. It is a medium coverage brush as well. So I'm going to dab into my Hollywood, and I'm basically applying it, kind of starting a little, almost to the end of my eye here and taking it back and up, just like that. And I want to leave like 2 fingers distance between my nose and the start of my cheek color. So just like that. All right, I love this color. It's a satin, but it's got a little bit of iridescence in it, so it's really pretty. Let's see here. I think I need a second mirror just to make it a little bit easier on myself. But these are all things you learn, right? Okay, one thing to note with this makeup is when you first put it on, you may think, oh my gosh, that is way too bright. I could never wear anything that bright. Well, you need to give it a second because the longer you wear it, your skin warms up the makeup and it will meld into your skin and it will calm down. So you just have to give it a few minutes. So this may seem like it's a little bit bright. It really isn't. When I come back to it in a few minutes, it's going to be perfect. Okay, so just a little trick for you here. So I applied this color here. It's Hollywood. It's a satin. This is La Cienega, and it is a gloss. I'm going to take just a little bit of this La Cienega, and I'm just going to like tap it right here on the apple of my cheek just to give me a little bit of subtle dewiness right there. I love to do that. Just a little pop of dewiness. Okay. All right, so I have done my contour, my main foundation, my brightener, and my cheek color. And now I'm ready for a little bit of bronzer. So you can use this blush and bronzer brush. It's got a fluffier end here for bronzer. And all you're gonna do is squeeze it together just like this so it kind of flattens it out. And then you're going to dab into your bronzer. All right, so this is, again, a medium coverage brush, and I'm applying this bronzer where the sun would normally hit, which is right here on my forehead. I kind of like to think about if I'm wearing sunglasses, it's gonna go around my sunglasses, essentially, just like that. Same thing, dab into it. I don't need much, just a little bit. And this is cream bronzer, just like the rest, and what makes it so great is it is lightweight, it is sheer, no shimmer, and no orange tone, but it really adds warmth and dimension into your skin, which again are those things that we're losing as we age. So I really think everyone over the age of 40 needs to be wearing a bronzer just to get that warmth and dimension. This color is called Bella, by the way. It works on most skin tones. It's my favorite bronzer by far. All right, so now let's move on to our brows. Let's do a little bit of brow work here. Okay, the brush I'm gonna use for this is called the line brush. This is a brush I definitely recommend. You can see one that has a spoolie, and then this end is what we're gonna use to line our brows. So let me grab my brow wax really quick here. This also would fit in your palette. I just don't have it in mine. By the way, this is how your makeup comes. It comes in these tins like this, and you just pop it out and then pop it into your magnetic palette. So when you're using your brow wax, it is a wax, so it needs to be activated with either water or setting spray. So grabbing my setting spray here, I'm just gonna spray a little bit into my brow wax, grab that line brush again, the brush for my brows, and I'm going to just get a little bit of brow wax here on my spoolie. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna brush my brows down first because I wanna get product all in the brows on every little hair here. And now I'm going back up. So I brushed them down first and then I'm going up. And I'm gonna let them be a little bit crazy because I'm gonna let them kind of set for a second and dry, and then I'm gonna go back and brush them into place in a minute. So a little bit of brow wax, brush them down, and then go back and brush them up. Okay, so while those are drying, we'll fill them in a second. Let's do just a little bit of eyeshadow here. So for eyeshadow, the brush we want to use is the eyeshadow brush, and it is dual-ended just like all of the brushes. It's made for highly pigmented eyeshadow, which is what Seint has, and one end is fluffy, one end is denser, and so I like to use the denser end for darker colors and the fluffier end for matte colors. So this is a basic 3-color technique. So I'm going to use this fluffy end of the eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to put this color, this is a medium matte color, it's called Valencia. I'm putting it all over the lid as a base. So again, this is the fluffy end of the eyeshadow brush. My medium matte color goes over the lid. Then I'm going to switch and take this smaller end, and dab into my medium darker color that I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the color Bubba. It's actually one of my favorites. And I'm going to lift my eyebrows up and tilt my chin. And I'm going to just dab this right on that bone there, that brow bone. So that when I look straight ahead, I can still see that color if I'm placing it on that bone right there. And I'm using this small Denson because I can really control the placement of the color and it's not just getting everywhere. Let's get a little bit more, and we're gonna put the same thing on the outside. So I'm just dabbing it. And we're gonna go back and blend in a second. Okay, now I'm gonna take my finger and I'm going to dab into Crush. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner for some brightness. Okay, that's basically the technique that I use for 3 eyeshadows. Taking this fluffy end of the brush and blending everything out to sort of finish up. And I don't wear thick eyeliner. I think it ages you, actually, in my opinion. So I like to take whatever is left on my brush and just sweep it there underneath my lower lash line. So let's do the other side real quick. So again, you have your, oh, we already did our medium matte shade, didn't we? All right, so let's flip to this smaller end, dab into our Bubba, tilt your chin up, lift your brow or your eyebrows and tap it onto that brow bone. So see, when I look straight ahead, you can still see it. Then tap a little bit on the outside here. And then get your Crush and put it in the inner corner. When you use your finger to apply shimmers, it picks up more product. The oils in your finger pick up more product, so that's why I use my finger when I'm applying a shimmer. And now I'm just blending all of that out. The secret to eyeshadow, honestly, is just to keep blending and also hold it farther down. You don't want to choke it up towards the top. You want to hold it a little bit farther down and have a looser grip. And then you just keep blending. All right, so that is my eyeshadow look there, my 3-color eyeshadow look. You can do that technique with any 3-color eyeshadows. You just need a medium matte all over and then a darker color in the crease, or sorry, just above the crease and on the outside, and then your light shimmer in the inner corner for brightness. Oh, we forgot to do our lower lash lines. Let's do that. All right. Now we're ready to fill in our brows. Let's go back to our line brush. So when you're filling in your brows, you can either use an eyeshadow color that matches your brows, or you can use your contour color. So when I color match you and I help you pick out the colors for your palette, I always make sure that your contour color matches your brows. So you don't have to worry about that. I'll take great care of you. And also, when you get color matched by me, you have a makeup friend for life. I will always be around. You'll have my business phone number and my email, so you can always reach me. And if you ever have questions or you need recommendations, I will be here for you. That is my favorite thing to do, is to help my customers. And I also do fun customer-only giveaways as well. So our brush, I filled in our brows with my line brush, and it looks like my brows are pretty good. They didn't get too crazy. So I'll just brush them out just a little bit, and I'm gonna call that a day, just like that. All right, so we have used most of the brushes that we were going to talk about today. I am gonna use one more brush here. Yep, this is the spot brush. So this is the brush that we're gonna use to do a little bit of demi color correctors here underneath the eye. Again, this would also fit in my palette. I just don't have it in there. But I'm gonna use this color right here called 03. And O stands for orange, 3 is the level. And what this is it's color correcting any blue that I have under my eye here. So I'm gonna use this small, really dense end here. I'm gonna dab into my 03, and I'm not getting a lot of product, just a little bit. And I'm just going to dab this over any darkness that I still have. And again, remember, with the under eye, as little product as possible. And I'm just kind of feathering that out. just any lasting blue areas that I still have there. Like I have this little vein right here. And then you can also use this color right here in the inner eye too, or the inner corner here, just for some added brightness. And that is pretty much it for my color corrector. I like to use as little product as possible, so I'm keeping it simple. So again, that was the spot brush there. And I think we're pretty much done. Let me go back to my palette and show you what else. I have two things left here that I haven't used. This is an illuminator. I can use my finger for that. So this is the color Angel, and all I'm gonna do is pop this on the high points of my face for a little bit of a dewy finish. You see that right there? And that is all that does. And our cheek color calmed down, didn't it? Calmed down a little bit, which was good. And I'm just putting a little bit on my nose here, chin. And then this last color is my secret weapon color. I love this cheek color. It's called Petal. It's a soft pink gloss. And let me show you what I like to do with it. So this was that brush I told you that I use for light coverage. If you want light foundation, you want to look all natural, this is the blend brush. I also like this brush for my secret weapon here. So I'm going to dab into Petal with this blend brush. So this brush, again, is not very dense, so it doesn't pick up a lot of product. And I'm literally just going to sweep it here between my nose and the start of my cheek color to soften this area and give me a more youthful look. There we go. Nice and soft. And that's all I'm going to do with that one little secret weapon color. Let's go back to La Cienega. And one final brush here. This is the multitasker brush. It is dual-ended also. This really small sharp end can be used, it's not sharp, but pointed end can be used to line your lips. You can use your contour color or your bronzer to line your lips. And then of course this flat end here can be used to fill in your lips. So let's do a little bit of bronzer. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna need a second mirror. I'm learning. Thank you so much for your patience and for being here with me. And as always, don't hesitate to reach out if I can be of assistance. This is I'm almost 3 years into my Seint journey. All right, just like that. Let's set our makeup. Actually, I am gonna do one more quick brush here. Again, you don't have to have all of these brushes. You could do way less than this. I'm just trying to show you all the options that you have for doing your makeup. So I'm going to go with this brush right here. And I took it out of my palette. Dang it. Okay. Oh, I know where it is. Sorry. I'm going to put a little bit of setting powder. Again, this would fit in your palette. I just don't have it in mine. You can see I use it for blush, but I'm going to take this powder brush, so that's easy to remember. And this is a very finely milled setting powder, so it's not going to cake or crease or settle into fine lines and wrinkles. It's super finely milled. So I'm going to use this flatter end, and I'm going to dab into my setting powder, and I'm literally just going to press it over my cheek color to help set my cheek color. And the reason I'm not using it all over is because I want a more dewy finish. This Vanilla Dust setting powder is going to be more of a matte finish. So to get that dewy finish, I'm going to go back to my blush and bronzer brush that I used. I'm going to use this big fluffy end, and I'm going to take my setting spray and spray my setting spray onto it just like that. And then I'm going to press and dab. And that's going to give me more of a dewy finish and set my makeup at the same time. So again, we are 30 minutes into this video. Just to point out, this makeup takes maybe 5 minutes to apply. I'm just trying to go really slow and explain everything, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, because sometimes I feel like if you understand the why behind it, it makes it easier to be able to do it yourself. And then today I was just going over brushes as well. If you have any questions about what brush does what, or how to get your hands on your own makeup palette from Seint, where all of your makeup is in here. If you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to reach out in the comments or in the bottom here in the description. I will put my link to my color match form so you can easily fill that out, and you know where to reach me. I'm here for you. So next time I'll be back. I'm going to try to come back every Thursday. That's my goal, and I'm going to try to stick with it. So I look forward to it. And in the meantime, catch me on Shorts. I have a lot of videos there where I'm doing tips and tricks in a minute or less. So thank you again for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing day. Kelly saying bye. See ya.